Hello, my name is Brittany, and I have a bachelor's degree in film and television.
And my name is Jessica, and I have a bachelor's degree in equine studies, and we're going to make a bad horse movie.
Welcome to Colt Classics.
Woo.
I feel like I need like the sparkling text over top, like little rainbow.
Yeah.
Old school style.
Maybe a few like horse hoof prints.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
The
Boop, boop, boop,
yeah.
boop, boop. Okay. So, what are we doing today?
I want to know how's the future. This is gonna be whenever this comes out. It will not be this year. We're recording ahead of time.
True.
So how's the future?
How is next year?
Let us know.
Don't.
Or don't. I was just thinking about it. I was like, wait, do I even want to know what 2022 is going to be like? Because we had high hopes for 21 and it didn't really pan out. So,
no. But it's okay. It's horse future. Year of the horse.
The year of I wonder what year it is, because there is years of the horse. The horse is one of the zodiac signs.
Yeah, but doesn't like the isn't like Chinese New Year?
Yeah.
Starts like later.
Yeah, it's like February, I want to say.
So we can get to the year of the horse later.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what year it is, but anyways.
I don't know what year it is. Bust through the door. What year is it?
What year is it? What animal are we?
What animal are we?
Well, I think last year was like the pig or something like that.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't even remember.
I don't pay attention, but I love it anyways.
As I've sidetracked us, as per usual. Today we're going to do what we're now calling a fast track episode.
Fast track episode. We previously called it a speed run episode, but as neither of us are gamers.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best terminology.
No, we wanted to make it a little bit more on brand. Yeah, for what we've got going on here. So that's what we got for now. It may change again later if we come up with something better. Yeah. So stay tuned.
But fast track just means we're going to skip all of our beginning stuff.
Uh-huh.
We're skipping hey or nay or skipping any kind of chit-chat.
Well, we've already
chit-chatted, so we've failed a little bit. But it's okay. We're going to move forward. And we've already generated our title.
Yes. And it's really dumb, but it makes me laugh.
I'm ready for it.
So the title is, let's see if I can say this without laughing in the middle of it.
Your best announcer voice.
Title is Whip, Wayfairin, Clippity, Clop.
Whip, Wayfairing, Clippity, Clop.
Yeah, but it's Wayfairin with like an N and an apostrophe.
Oh,
no
Wayfairin. Now, what does Wayfairin mean? Like specifically, like I know the general concept.
Well,
am I Googling this right now?
Here's the thing about that particular word in the title is that was one of the suggestions for words to add to a title from our lovely friends on the network. Our Green Mountain Mystery friends suggested that word. So I actually don't know.
Well,
because it wasn't a word that I came up with. It was a word that was suggested to add into the title. So
it's considered a act or course of journeying, but that is the archaic version of it, or obsolete money or provisions for a journey.
Well, because your fare is like something you pay.
Yeah,
FARE.
Yeah, so wayfaring, I think, is like a journey.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a traveling kind of a thing. Yeah. Like wayfaring makes me think of like some people like whistling and walking up a mountain ridge or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like Lord of the Rings, but happier.
Yeah, pretty much.
So whip, wayfaring.
Yeah.
Clippity Clop.
Clippity Clop.
Okay.
So obviously it's a bunch of horses.
Obviously Clippity Clop is a bunch of horses.
Right.
Now, if we're talking whip.
Yes.
Is it like my whip, my ride? Or is it like a whip, like a horse whip?
Well, I think that it started, like the reason that it came into the title was because of it being related to horses as with a whip, which obviously we are anti-animal abuse here.
Yes.
So you can use a whip nowadays more for just like the sound and directionality of it. Like something I'm kind of familiar with is people who drive horse-drawn carriages or any sort of like horse-drawn, method. I was going to say vehicle. Is it still a vehicle if it
I mean, if it has wheels,
Yeah, is that?
I feel like that would be a vehicle.
Now we're into like the.
What is a vehicle?
Well, we're defining all these words today.
The problem is that I use the word vehicle for anything that moves something from one place to another. So
Okay.
I call like a carafe of coffee the vehicle.
Okay.
So
I think that's fair. I was just like second guessing if that was. But if you're on track with me, then yes. So anyways,
I don't know if that's the way you use the word, but I use it.
That's how we're using it now.
It's so far into my vernacular that I can't stop.
So anyway, any sort of horse-drawn vehicle, especially if you've got like everybody knows, well not everybody knows, but a lot of people know like the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Yes.
So they've got like 6 to 8 of them.
Oh wow.
Strapped to this harness to this, carriage or whatever. They've got, I don't know what you would call that. I should know, but I don't. Anyways,
I think carriage is a good
carriage,
term.
Yeah. And so that having the whip, because it has that reach, it can like give like you can do it on the sides of it, and so all of the horses are aware of that's what's happening because it can reach all the way across to all of them. You also have lunge whips, which is like when you're making your horse go in circles around you, then you've got that to kind of motivate them to move forward just by cracking it behind them, kind of a deal. So anyways, I liked it because of it was kind of alliteration-y. And it reminded me of something, but I can't put my finger on what like phrase it reminded me of.
Clippity Clop is a phrase.
Well, yeah, no, but the whip Wayfairin.
I don't know.
But anyways, the point is, I feel like it could be either or both, because if you're talking about horse whips being related to horse-drawn vehicles, and you're also talking about whips being like, this is my ride.
This is my ride. I mean, yeah, I guess that's both. The question is the horse pulling a car?
Right. Or is the horse the car?
Well, a horse is a car.
Right.
Already. It's not true.
Horses were cars before cars were cars.
Yes, thank you. That's what I meant.
There we go.
So I guess it's like there's so many options that I think we could go with a journey. Right? Easy. Right. Clippity Clop means that it's either a comedy movie or a musical.
Right.
So, because I don't think any like action movie worth its salt is going to be like, and we're going to put Clippity Clop in the title.
But what if we did?
Well, because I'm wondering. So I feel like I have 2 options: something with horses and journeys, great. And some cool people that are like, yo, Clippity Clop.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering if this is a world where any kind of motorized vehicle has stopped working. There's no more gas or batteries are dead or anything like that. But they're like, we have all these cars and the wheels still go on some of the older ones. I think like cars' wheels don't move on newer models. I think the wheels, the axle doesn't turn or something.
I think you just have to put it in neutral.
Yes, put it in neutral.
Which you can put I'm fairly certain you can put your car in neutral without it turning on. Because you have to be able to do that if it needs to be like towed or something. So
then it's like, okay, so we've got these cool rides. Well, we have things with wheels already and we don't want to build a car. Can we just hook a horse up to it?
I feel like
just put a tow hitch on the front.
I feel like I've either read a book where they did that or seen some. I don't think I've seen something. I think I read something where they were talking about like attaching horses to. Oh yeah, it was. Sorry. There's a book series that I really like. It's from like middle school, so. Nah. Anyways, but I'm fairly certain you read it. The City of Ember.
It's possible. I do not remember.
I feel like I can't explain it without spoiling the book.
So spoilers
for City of Ember. I mean, I highly recommend, first of all. But this city, these people think that like this is the only world that exists because they've been down the spoiler is that they're underground and they don't know otherwise because they've been down there for so long that this is normal to all of them.
Right.
And it was basically like you find out that some sort of apocalypse or something was happening up on Earth, and so some people had this idea to build this city in like an underground cave and like seal them off from the rest of the world so that they would be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way that they tried to like have people not remember, so they sent like older people down with babies. And so like the older people obviously all knew, but they had all kind of promised to not talk about it. And so then the kids grew up and they didn't know anything. So they just grew up in this and kept, populating. But anyways, not in the City of Ember book, but in one of the later ones in the series, they end up back up in the world, and so the world has recovered from whatever this disaster is. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, they use cars that they've picked up from places, and they strap horses or cows or something to the front of them to pull them, like wagons, because the car itself doesn't work anymore, but it's still got viable wheels and a place to put stuff and yourself. So,
right.
Now that I've ranted about City of Ember.
Yeah, for sure.
For a while. Highly recommend. Also one of the best book to movie adaptations I've seen.
Okay. So. All right. That's a pretty good recommendation there. I don't know if I've seen the movie, or I'm sure I've read the book. It's just not something that stuck with me.
Right.
So there's a couple options as far as pulling a carriage, car,
right,
car carriage. So then the question is like, do we want to go that route, or do we want to do something sillier? Do we want it to be like Pimp My Ride but with horses? Yo, check it out. We gave your horse a bow on the butt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cute little bow.
Well, okay, so the first thought that I had when I generated this title was like a group of horses just, traveling around, having a good old time, not having people in the movie, and the horses talk, but it's not like weird.
Yeah.
And they're still walk on all fours kind of a vibe. I also think it would be really interesting, personally, if we could make a movie that is technically dystopian.
Okay.
Or post-apocalyptic, but is a comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And is funny. Because I feel like I don't see that a lot.
I mean, I immediately think of Zombieland.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but the whole vibe is just like, it's a hardcore comedy movie, and it's just like a bunch of apocalyptic people being weird.
Right.
Really is what it boils down to. And like, so, like that series, I think there's 1 and 2. It's all about like weird celebrity cameos in those movies is really what it boils down to. But yeah, I think we could totally do comedy apocalypse. That's pretty easy to do. If we do comedy apocalypse, I feel like it could be a commentary on, now I don't know if this would work or not, but like the weird individualism mindset that comes with apocalypse stories of like, you're the only survivor and you must have guns and bat and gotta
fight off all the zombies by yourself
and like go into like a community aspect of like, maybe lone person comes over to this horse commune or whatever and is like, what are you guys doing? They're like, what are you doing?
Why are you by yourself?
Do you need help?
Where's your horse companion?
Where's your horse companion? Everybody gets a horse.
Have you bonded with a horse yet?
Horse girl apocalypse.
Yes. Please.
I don't know how we would do that if horse girl apocalypse. Cause it's like, I feel like I'm gonna say this, and this is not a hot take, but it's a good take.
Okay.
Is the horse girls will survive the apocalypse. Because, like, think about it, right? Like, first of all, horses are the ultimate form of transportation. Because they're not going to run out of gas or battery or pop a tire.
Right.
You might have, like, a horseshoe situation, but theoretically fixable.
And they do get tired depending on the horse. So they
Sure.
can't run forever.
No, but in an apocalypse, you don't want to be running.
Right.
You want to be traveling. You want to be able to migrate.
You want to ride a bike. Have you seen the meme about the knight on a bike?
No.
There's one that was talking about how in the zombie apocalypse that a full suit of armor is the best, like, protection, and a bike is the best mode of transport. So just a knight riding on a bike.
It depends on if the zombies are attracted by noise, because that would be a very noisy form of transportation. Right. But I just think like a horse girl bonding with a horse, like survive anything.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like that would be a good movie.
Not a comedy.
No, I think it could still be a comedy.
Okay.
I think it's a comedy not in the way of, there are certain types of comedy where you're like, wow, this is a comedy. And there are certain types of comedies that are just like action movies with levity that I feel like, what I'm thinking of is like Gunpowder Milkshake. Okay. Which is John Wick, but with women, essentially. Oh, okay. And John Wick kind of has some moments. It's a little darker, but I feel like Gunpowder Milkshake is a good example of like there's a fight where Karen Gillan is both of her arms are numb, so she's taped guns to her hands and is just flinging her body around. But in context, it like totally works. Yeah. But it is like a comedy moment. Right. Out of context. Like, if you take that scene, you're like, this is ridiculous. But if you take all the moments that get to that scene, you're like, no, this makes sense. This is still kind of serious. Yeah. Because you're like, there's still tension. Right. There's still someone coming after her to kill her. So you're like, okay. Yeah. But that kind of comedy of like, this is so ridiculous, but all of the events that led us here
makes sense. Yeah. I feel like that our title, though, that we have is so ridiculous that like it should be a little bit more obvious of a comedy.
Kind of like stoner comedy. Maybe not necessarily a stoner comedy, but just that style of like, have you seen or not seen, but like know of like Pineapple Express or people who are listening will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, stoner comedy is just, it's, usually it's a bunch of stoners who get themselves into hijinks.
Oh, okay.
And they're usually more and more extravagant and ridiculous. It's not technically a stoner comedy, but The Hangover is kind of in that style of like, what happened? We got to retrace our steps. And then like all the shenanigans. So something like that where it's like Will Ferrell style. I think of like who Adam Sandler. Okay. That kind of like blatant comedy. Yeah. But the subject matter could be a little serious, but I think it's very... Melissa McCartney is another good person I'm thinking of. Like Ghostbusters. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, this is going to be a comedy, but we're fighting ghosts. Right. And you're like, okay.
I feel like...
Now, what if we put ghosts in this movie?
Is that what the apocalypse is? The ghosts have taken over?
You could do like a portal to hell has opened and a bunch of ghosts escaped. Yeah. And they suck up all the electricity. Because that is something that like a lot of ghost hunters will, they don't necessarily suck up electricity, but they can affect electricity if you talk to ghost hunters or people that are into the supernatural. And I think that you could just take that and run and just be like, they escaped and now they suck all the electricity. Because when they these are ghosts from like the 1800s where there was no electricity or very little electricity. Yeah. And so we didn't know. Yeah. But now that they're here, boy, they're thirsty for it.
They're just going to like power plants and like like sticking their mouth on top of like a electrical transport, like climbing up to the top and just.
And one of them has like a straw, like just pokes it in.
I like that because, like, the thing about Ghostbusters is I liked it, but it also was, like, they made it kind of freaky because of the way that they did, like, the special effects and stuff with the ghosts. And so, like, I'm not, like, I liked the movie, but at the same time, like, I don't really want to watch it again because I
had such a good time.
I love this movie. I loved it, but it was just like it was still scary for me. Okay. So I like the idea of like the ghosts being like kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so it's a little less terrifying of like, this ghost is coming to possess you, and just like the ghosts want electricity
Yeah.
real bad. They will eat all your light bulbs.
Crotch. I'd also like the
Your
idea
batteries.
if like maybe the ghosts are more like Slimer style in Ghostbusters, where it's just like a weird blobular and not like, oh, this is a person. Because I don't want to try to connect with them.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like, oh, that's old Aunt May.
What if it's like, is it Casper?
Yeah.
Who's like a floating bedsheet kind of
Sure.
a deal?
Okay, sure.
So they're still like, they're not like slimes,
No, sure.
but they're just like floating apparitions with no specific shape that just come and stick straws.
Or we could do like skeleton shapes if we really wanted to. But yeah, again, they're just like slurp, slurp, slurp.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no electricity now because we've let the ghosts out.
The ghosts have drank it all.
Ghosts drank it all. So are these horse girls like on a journey to stop the ghost, or is it like just a thing that happens in the background where you're like, why don't we have electricity? It's because the ghosts are drinking it. Because they're like, are the ghosts the inciting incident, or are they world building?
I guess it would depend on like, do you want it to be like, oh, we've have well established cars pulled by horses, like this isn't just something we threw together 15 minutes ago, like this is my ride, and I've got I painted it pink and put jewels all over it, and my horse's harness matches because this is how we get around now because this is normal. Like,
either one I think works. It's really a matter of what the plot is here.
I don't know, you gotta help me.
Well, because if the plot is like we've got to suck the ghosts back into the hole, then great, we can do that. Or if the plot is like there's a bunch of the ghosts, we need to figure out a way to repel the ghost from this electric tower because it's powering the hospital. Or it could just be something totally non-related, and it's like these horse girls have to fight a witch, and the ghosts just happen to be part of the equation. It's why you can't go through the swamp because there's a bunch of ghosts there. Because I think those are two very different things. Of like, are the ghosts world building, or are they central to the plot?
I feel like am leaning towards world building just because as much as I love Ghostbusters, like
we can't rip it exactly.
I don't want to do it exactly. And I like the idea of the horse girls having like established rides.
Sure.
Where it's like they've been working on this for a while and have customized them to be super awesome.
That's how horse girls are.
Right, exactly. And it's got to match. The color of the car has to match the harness that the horse wears to attach it to the car.
I feel like, and this is going to sound insane, but I feel like we would need to do a whole other episode of this podcast where we sit down and talk about horse to car pairings.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like it's like wine and food.
Okay.
Because, like, yeah, sure, you could put whatever with whatever. You can drink a red wine with your burger. No one gives any cares in the world. But there are, like, enthusiasts.
Right, yeah.
Who are going to be like, well, you this is a dessert wine, so you can have it with dessert.
Right.
Or not with dessert. I don't know how dessert wines work.
I don't know either.
I drink one wine and it's red. Drink the red kind.
The red kind. I drink the red Kool-Aid.
But like a Clydesdale is gonna be pulling a Ford F-150,
right, or a Hummer,
right? It's not gonna be pulling a Volkswagen Beetle. But I think that like we would have to spend an hour talking about horse to car pairings.
Well, a Mustang has to pull a Mustang, obviously.
I don't know why that didn't cross my mind. So I guess
how much horsepower you got? 1 horsepower.
Now that could also be a thing. I think if somebody has like a lot of street cred or power, I think maybe just power.
They've got more horses.
More horses pulling their car.
I've got 8 horsepower. Although horsepower does not translate directly into how much 1 horse powers things. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So I want to put like a little pin of like if someone wants us to sit down and do a horse to car pairing episode as a bonus episode, we will, but we need you guys to be interested otherwise.
Yeah.
And we need 3 new followers on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
We need to get to that barn special. But
so do we have a horse girl gang?
That's the question.
I feel like we do.
I feel like that would be amazing.
I think it would be awesome.
I think that they would be called the Whip Wayfarers.
Oh.
Now, are they Wayfarers?
Yes.
Okay, Wayfarers.
Yeah. Yes.
Whip Wayfarers.
Yep.
I sound like a drunk. It's all that red wine that I'm drinking. Whip Wayfarers.
Like the red kind.
Whip Wayfarers.
I don't know what it's called, but it's red.
It's red. The wine I drink is from a local winery called Derby Red. It's very good. Shout out to 6 Mile.
Woo.
Anyways,
so I feel like the ghosts are just world building. Like we've just accepted that the ghosts are part of our world now.
It's our explanation for the cars not working.
Right.
And
they ate all the car batteries.
Yeah, they sucked up all the juice. It's our explanation for why it's apocalyptic.
Yes.
No phones, anything like that. Now we're like taking batteries out of the equation here.
Yes.
So like we got to do freaking fire torches to see at night.
Right. Unless we've managed to hide some batteries from the
maybe
ghosts.
It's like, I don't know, lithium batteries. Well, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, like a certain type of
whatever's
battery.
Not a car battery.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know enough about batteries.
I don't know enough about cars.
But we'll just say whatever's not in a car, you can make work.
Yeah.
In a flashlight.
Right.
If we want. If we want.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we could just do like glow sticks.
Yeah. I guess the thing that I'm thinking is like I want them to have some method of communication that is like easy, not like sending Morse code or anything like that, like something. So I was like walkie-talkies.
Yeah,
but they use batteries.
Can I pitch you this?
Okay.
Big falcon. or carrier pigeon.
I mean, I do love me a carrier pigeon. Not gonna lie, but it's not instantaneous.
No, but I think it would be funny to just be like, big bird flies off and has a slip of paper that says, "Brah."
Brah, why you like this?
Why?
If
we can figure out a way to power radios, radio waves don't require batteries, so it's just powering the transmitter.
Yeah.
So that would be the question.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking communication as in like this gang of horse girls is on their mission, and as they're, fighting off the bad guys or whatever, even though they're set like a little bit farther apart from each other, they can still like talk to each other.
Okay.
Like conversational
communication.
Like if we're talking like, oh, I need to contact my gun guy, then send Falcon to gun guy for sure. But if I need to, say, hey, there's zombies on your left, like, or ghosts on your left, like, don't turn your back, that's instantaneous.
Do you think maybe we could do stuff that's solar powered?
Ooh.
I don't know. Like, I know, like, technically, I think that's electricity, but I don't know if it is for sure.
Well, I think any sort of power source that we make, we are trying to create electricity from it.
Yeah.
But maybe it doesn't give off the same like vibes that the other electricity does, so the ghosts don't go for it.
We can have a scientist do some techno babble. For no reason.
To explain why they don't go for the solar powered stuff.
Yeah.
Although we'd have to put limits on it because you can solar power cars.
Maybe it's like amount. We're getting so caught in the weeds here, but like this is very important.
I love this.
So maybe it's like the amount of power that a car battery outputs is the minimum amount that a ghost can detect.
Oh.
So anything under that.
Okay, yeah.
So like you can't power something through like AC power, but you could charge it via like solar power. But you can't, like, you couldn't solar power a car because then they would just come and suck it up.
Right.
So we can power batteries on walkie-talkies. I would say, like, we probably couldn't do cell phones because the cell phone towers would be down.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think they've taken out the cell phone towers.
But, like, walkie-talkies is good. I think we could have, like, we could have solar-powered lamps if we wanted. Stuff like that. Focus on, like, what little items that we could do.
Yeah.
And so that's our explanation.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay. So maybe it's like, I don't know, this again, not important, but the ghosts have like, I don't know, infrared.
Yeah, some sort of like scanning. You could even do like a cut shot where it's like you're the ghost seeing like whatever.
Yeah.
Things.
And the little dots of white just aren't big enough to know what it is.
Yeah.
But you're like, that's a car battery.
Yeah.
That's for me.
That's for me.
Slurp, slurp.
That's my lunch.
This is so dumb.
I love it.
Okay, so the whip wafers.
Furs.
I cannot say this word.
Whip wayfarers.
Wayfarers. I'm losing my mind. Okay, so the whippets.
The W squared.
W squared. They are trying to
get supplies.
Okay.
For their community.
Okay. So are they part of a bigger community? Are these like the ones that just go out?
Yeah.
Okay. So that we've run out of mashed potatoes.
And it's almost Thanksgiving.
It's almost Thanksgiving. We're making a Thanksgiving movie.
In the early parts of the new year, but it's fine.
It's fine. This is the perfect time to make a Thanksgiving movie because then it'll be ready for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna call a producer and we're gonna get this done.
Yeah.
And no, I don't like that at all. I'm gonna retcon all of that. I just was trying to improv my way through a supply.
It's okay. We can backtrack that one.
I thought of potatoes.
You hungry?
Yeah. I didn't have lunch.
They need.
Do they need food? Do they need?
I was gonna say medicine. Like that was the first thing that came to mind. And I feel like in this world, this post-apocalyptic world, like if we want to go with, it's not every man for himself.
Yeah,
like we've moved beyond that.
I mean, there are weirdos that think that they can,
right?
But like,
of course, you just go around them.
Yeah, seriously,
skirt them. But so like there are established like communities, maybe not full on like cities, but like but they still have like contact with each other and will share things. And so these, gangs or whatever are the ones who will travel between, and they're the ones who are, well equipped to fight off ghosts if they need to, or whatever else hangs out in the in-between lands.
Yeah.
And so they're going to this.
So they're
other
the
place.
post office.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like we're Pony Expressing.
I was gonna say it's a Pony Express. It's
we're like Wild West, but
Stagecoach.
Yeah, but modernizing it a little bit.
Yes.
Which is very us.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So I like the idea of them traveling in a group, but I'm also wondering if maybe we should do more of like a what's the word with the dogs?
Oh, no, just went out of my head.
Like a relay, but with horses and carriages. The only word in my head is mush, and that's not the correct word. It's close, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The dogs and the sleds.
The bobsled? Is that bobsled? No,
no,
it's not
bobsledding is a sport.
Yeah,
nobody at us. I'm hungry.
When I was in elementary school, we actually had to watch whatever that one that happens. It's either in Alaska or Canada, and it's
Yeah.
like a dog sledding race.
Yeah.
And we like had to pick a team that we were, voting for or whatever. And so I remember like staying up to date with it. But it's like an endurance thing. And they still kind of travel together. I mean, it's a race, so it's like a.
Well, I'm thinking of specifically the event that I just saw this the other day. But there was a time in history where a city in Alaska needed some medicine, and they were transported by dog sleds. And so they passed off the serum to like waiting stations. So it was a relay essentially.
Right.
So, and it was like they needed to go as fast as they could for as long as they could till they hit the relay point.
Yeah.
And then they would switch off with another person.
I mean, that's how that would be how you would, not tire out your dogs, is like, you run these ones as much as they can, and then you've gotten to a next person with a fresh, team of dogs who are ready to run as fast as they can. And so it's faster and less like endurance-y.
Yeah. So you can look up. I was thinking of like Balto and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which there's a name for the event in history, but it's really interesting. I highly recommend everyone look it up. But I've seen so much stuff recently about it that was in my head.
Yeah.
But like, so we could do something like that where it's like, especially with medicine. That's why I was thinking of it of like relay points. So horse and car hit this point, and then this horse and car takes it, and so it could be, we can make the movie the relay, or they travel in a group.
Yeah. I don't know. I had this image in my head of 3, like a trio that goes out together, because I feel like if there's other dangers out in the wilderness besides the ghosts, like there is some idea of like safety in numbers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like a pack of like 7 of them, but like there's 3 of them. And so you still could relate a little bit where it's like they maybe aren't going all the way to the next community for this whatever medicine that they're picking up, but they as a trio are doing the run to the whoever's waiting for them with the stuff.
Would you rather see a movie where we follow 3 people halfway and then 3 more people halfway, and then the climax is when they all meet in the middle? Or would you rather see just one group follow all the way through to this location, they stop and rest, and then they come back?
I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards the second one.
Because it's a little like Fury Road. It's a little Mad Max Fury Road. Because that's kind of what happens in that movie. Although what they're doing is they are driving out to this promised land essentially, and then they find out that it's gone.
Oh, okay.
And then so they turn around and come back. And all the while they're being chased. By the evil minions of the bad guy, basically.
Yeah.
So we could make it a little kind of like that idea of like, okay, when we structure it, we have an idea of like, we're going to get to this place and then somebody else is going to take care of it. And it's like, oh no, you got to turn around and go back. So maybe something like that.
Yeah. I think that the idea of following a trio as they adventure through the wilderness, like, to me, that gives more opportunity for like funny comedy stuff to happen. And like, as much as I love perspective shifts in like books and movies and stuff like that, I think that like just following the one group is a little bit easier.
So then it's a journey movie.
It's a journey movie
for sure. I think that I think maybe it's more important for the return journey because they have the medicine of fighting off bandits, and like the tension is, are they going to get there on time and with all their supplies? Yeah. So we kind of will use the beginning portion, like first 45 minutes, to be like, we're going to this next community, and then it's like, okay, now we gotta buckle down. Got an hour of journey stuff and fighting off ghosts and bandits and tipping over and falling into swamps and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because I think the thing I was thinking is like, yes, the medicine's important, but I don't think it should be like life-threatening, somebody needs it right now. It's more of like, okay, we're going to run out of this pretty soon. We need to pick up our next stock of it so that we don't run out completely, and then bad problems will happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, so the return journey is important. You don't want the stuff to get stolen or broken or whatever, but it's not like we have to do this as fast as possible kind of a thing,
So do we want to, before we end this episode, do we want to decide what the 3 girls are and what their horse and cars are?
Yes.
Okay.
Really quick. I think the Mustang with the Mustang is the buff, works on cars all the time, mechanic-y type.
Love that.
And I'm imagining her with long dark hair. I don't know why that specifically is in my head, but
maybe like a Brienne.
Okay.
Or like a Brie.
That still feels a little too
too feminine.
Yeah. Too popular girly.
Alex?
Yeah.
Okay. Alex.
Uh-huh.
Mustang with a Mustang.
Uh-huh. Brianna could be I don't know what her combo is, but her car is 100% pink.
Okay.
Absolutely has to be pink with jewels on it, and has a harness to match for her horse.
What about an Arabian?
Oh, yes, definitely.
That's the one horse.
I know. Good job.
Thank
you did it.
Thank you. And then,
but what kind of car does she have?
Pink car could be kind of anything.
Yeah.
It could be like a Corvette.
Ooh.
Just something that's classic, but now it's pink.
Uh-huh.
Or a convertible of some kind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, convertible, 100%.
Cool.
Barbie car.
And then, can her name just be Barbie then?
Are we just going to riff it off straight?
Barbie or her name could be Barb.
Nah.
I think Barbie is a name that we could, I don't think Barbie is copyrighted. Or it could be her nickname.
I think a nickname.
I think we can get away with it being a nickname.
Uh-huh.
And then Julia.
Okay, has a Clydesdale pulling a Hummer. Okay. A Hummer or an F-150? What do we think? Truck or Hummer?
I guess it depends on where we think. I just feel like with a truck we could put a lot of medicine in the back of it.
In the bed. Okay, yeah. Yep, I'm down for it.
Okay.
Yeah, Clydesdale and a Hummer.
Alex, Barbie, Julia.
And Julia.
Good. All right. Did we make it? Did we make our movie?
I feel like there was something else that I was going to say that we needed.
We need,
but I forget,
a theme song.
Always, but
yeah,
that's besides the point.
That is beside the point. We good?
I think we did it. Can we recap the plot again real quick?
Do you want me to recap it?
Yeah, because I forgot some.
Well, I think we kind of erased everything.
Yeah.
So Alex, Barbie, and Julia
uh-huh.
are 3 horse girls, and by horse girls, they're adults.
Yeah.
Who have horses that pull cars.
Yes.
We've talked about what their horses and car combos are.
Yeah.
And they are Pony Express style couriers that go from community to community in this post-apocalyptic world. And the reason it's post-apocalyptic is because ghosts are sucking up electricity like a delicious snack. And and this is a movie about their journey from going to the community to pick up meds to then coming back and the trials and tribulations of travel and fighting off ghosts and bandits and sinkholes.
Right.
That's it. I think that's our plot. Whip, Wayfairin, Clippity, Clop.
Yes. Perfect. I love it.
We may have to rework that title, I think. But for now, it will stay.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention is a little peek behind the curtain. I did send this title to Britty already. She may have acted like she didn't know it at the beginning. She just forgot which one it was. And she said that it sounded like, you said that it sounded like Fast and Furious.
It does sound like a Fast and Furious. One of these days, I think we're going to make a Fast and Furious, but I want to organically get there.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be like, it's Fast and Furious, but with horses.
Yeah.
Because what we've done is kind of that.
That's what I was going to say, is I think we need to add in a line somewhere in this movie about family.
Yeah.
Just sprinkle it in there.
Yeah. I think that'll just check it off as this is a Fast and Furious with horses.
With horses.
Because it does have cars.
It does have cars.
Yeah, I think we kind of met the brief.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did it.
That's a cult classic.
It is a cult classic. We're part of the Pocket Podcast Network, which has some other fantastic, amazing shows. Again, thank you to Green Mountain Mysteries people for suggesting some words to add into our titles. Also, Pokemakers is doing some cool things.
Yeah.
Sorted is having a good time.
Those are the same people.
Sorting things. Yes. They're doing a great job.
They're doing a great job.
They're doing a great job.
Shout out.
Shout out to them.
My turn.
Yes.
You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Colt Classics PPN. We are still doing new followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
1,000 new followers gets us to record our barn special.
Barn special. Please help us record a barn special.
Please.
Because Brittany's going to interview a horse.
I'm going to interview a horse.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
We'd like to thank Jason Shaw of Audionautics for the use of our intro and outro music.
And that's a wrap.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Disclaimer. The conceptual treatment of a motion picture created during the duration of this audio program is not intended to represent a presently published fictional narrative. The story, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred. Original concepts devised during the extent of the audio program are creative property of Colt Classics. Any usage of current or previous Colt Classic concepts outside of the aforementioned audio program must include appropriate acknowledgments by the utilizing party.
Pocket Podcast Network. Quality programming right to your pocket.